Welcome to Afra's Artifacts, where we do some archaeology of our own and dig into the queer side of Star Wars. I'm your host, Alia Morgaine, and it's so great to have you here. Well, today we're talking about Kitrep Soh, Chancellor Lina Soh of the High Republic's son. So, the High Republic so far has been absolutely full of queer characters. It has been a boon. It has been wonderful. I cannot wait to see where everything goes from here. I cannot wait for more new queer characters. I can't wait to learn more about the queer characters we already know of. There's just so much good with this particular publishing campaign. So next week we're going to talk about Jom, who is the other character that Kitrep has a sort of relationship with. And then the week after that, we'll be talking about their relationship. So today we are focusing on Kitrep. I do want to say that these characters come from Kevin Scott's The Rising Storm, which I have a review on out on my blog, thestarsreview.blogspot.com, if you'd like to check that out. I go into lots of detail in the review on characters and planets and species and all sorts of stuff like that. So be sure to check it out. So on to Kitrep. One of the other characters puts him at about 17. He's uncomfortable in the spotlight of the cam droids, which is an unfortunate personality trait for a Galactic Chancellor's son. He gets bustled around to a never-ending circuit of receptions and tours, having to make small talk with delegates he barely knew. And then the poor boy, Lina Soh's Corrivar aide, Norel Quo, is always telling him to stand up straight and smile like you mean it. Gracious, I would hate to have that constant nagging in my ear about how I need to act and behave in the best way. And that would just drive me crazy. So I really feel for Kitrep. Part of the problem with his dealing with the spotlight is that his family was from a backwater planet called Dagi, and Lena had to rise through the ranks to become Galactic Chancellor. She didn't, she worked hard for it. She worked really, really hard to get to that point. It wasn't something that was just handed to her. And I love that. I can totally relate to that. So because of that, I think his childhood, his growing up, Kitrep never had all the attention on him. And so now that all the attention's on him, he's like, oh, what do I do? And that can be really difficult. So it does seem that Lina Soh has been a single parent for most of Kitrep's life. And he does go on about how great of a mother she is, how good of a parent she is, that she always did what she could for him despite zipping from planet to planet all the time and always being busy with politics. But regardless of that, it says, it didn't mean he wanted his life plastered all over the holonet. His mom thrived beneath the spotlight, but not him. He'd rather everyone focused on Matari and Voru, the Chancellor's Targons, big cat-like creatures, forgetting Lina Soh even had a son. At least they, the Targons, were interesting. Poor boy. Poor guy. He's just like, my mom did all these things and she's a great person, but goodness, I don't want to have to be part of this whole mess. And it doesn't help that he's awkward looking. It says he's tall and rake thin. The lad was wearing a loose hooded jacket and dipped his head stiffly in greeting, long curtains of black hair falling in front of his face, obscuring, Elzar noticed, green eyes that kept flicking over to the mayor's son, a handsome looking boy called Jom. Love that. So he's getting all this attention, and then he's like, he spots Jom and he's like, ooh, he's cute. And it all goes from there. So I do want to share this little bit of narrative that kind of gives you a really good insight into his personality and his feelings about the situations he's in. It says, the party was in full swing, and Kitrep Soh hated every minute of it. Everywhere he looked, there were laughter and excitement, delighted faces and happy voices. Dancers from a dozen worlds whirled on stages across the park, riots of silk, ribbon, and bangles, while children pulled at their parents' hands, wanting to run in 7 different directions at once. The only place Kip wanted to run to was his mother's suite in the Hotel Republica. Mom had, of course, already given him the usual pep talk. Just after she'd unveiled his outfit for the evening, the sep silk jacket had come complete with a golden bloom pinned to his lapel. Since when had he worn flowers? Not to mention pants with seams so sharp that they looked like they could blunt a lightsaber. And in response to Kitrep's very reluctant acceptance of the situation, Lina Soh says, "Just look interested. That's all I ask." That can be a lot to ask sometimes. So another little bit that I just want to throw in is that Kitrep finds Bel Zettifar, Jedi Padawan, extremely good looking. Love that. Bel ends up being in this, for a short amount of time, this weird like third wheel situation with Jom and Kitrep. And it's really funny because it's like, well, Bel can't, he's a Padawan, and High Republic Padawans do things, which is interesting. But really he can't, do anything. So, and I don't even know what Bel's sexuality is. So who knows if he'd even be interested. But there is this weird sort of love triangle thing, which is kind of funny. So that's Kitrep Soh. He doesn't like all the attention he gets being a chancellor's son. But there's not much that can be done about it. His mom is the leader of the whole freaking galaxy, and he's just gotta kind of go with the flow. And other thing that I did want to mention is that he is in dire situations, which he does get into in the book. He's quite pessimistic, very, maybe not so much cynical, but realistic, very realistic, to the point of being nearly pessimistic. And yeah, so that is Kitrep Soh. I hope you enjoy learning more about him, and be sure to tune in next week, Monday at 6 p.m. Central, for info on Jom. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at AliaMorgan, and peruse my blog at thestarsreview.blogspot.com. May the Force be with you.